Sure. I'd like to call the Guilford Parks and Recreation Mission meeting of January 6th to order. Public meeting.
No, he was asking me if I want to close. the
Oh,
doors. I
okay.
think we need to leave it open. This is a
Oh.
public meeting.
Oh, okay. It's like, it is a public. I've never said that before. Okay, so we call that to order. Before we start and before we go to public forum, we'd like to have someone make a motion to add Braden Haskell, Eagle Scout, to the agenda under item 1, call to order.
I'll make a motion to move Braden Haskell's Eagle Scout presentation to now.
Okay, so
Awesome.
Tara's made the motion and Rose has seconded. Thank you very much. And so we'd like to welcome Braden Haskell. Haskell's my maiden name. Eagle Scout to make this presentation to us. So you're on. Anywhere you would like. Come up, but introduce yourselves and whatever makes you comfortable, okay?
I'm Braden and I'm a Life Scout currently. I'm trying to get my Eagle Scout. And I had this idea, it was actually part of my father's idea, and I also saw it in Darien. And I thought it was a really cool idea. It was these trash bins, but they also have grabbers and buckets, so people can walk on the beach with the bucket and the grabber. Or you can take the trash, put it in the bucket, they don't get their hands dirty, and they just end up putting it in the trash bin. So it helps people just. Excellent. So contact the beneficiary will be you guys. And then there's a little here. And my sponsor here is Mr. Sauer. The purpose of this project was to build trash collection boxes and place them at specific locations at Jacobs Beach and Lake Quantico. Help keep the beaches of the area clean this morning. This project would be set up called beautification stations. And they will be installed again at specific locations at Jacobs Quantico. There will be a wooden frame holding 6 5-gallon buckets and 6 extended grabbers. And there'll be a trash bin. There's 2 sides, trash bin on the other side, and there'll be a sign on the front, like demonstrating how to do it. The benefits of the cleaner beaches, it gets the community involved and participating in cleanup, and it makes cleanup easier, more convenient, and more fun. Location. So this is kind of hard to tell.
So the first picture on the left there is
That is
Jacobs.
Jacobs.
Okay.
So we had circled in red was our first choice location, which is over by like the splash pad and also like asphalt. We noticed that there was that was a high traffic area, so people go out in and out of there a lot. So it's like you can just grab your trash, dump it there, when you leave, and end of story. Our second choice was right here in the middle of this parking lot area. We thought it was nice in the middle of the beach, accessible to everybody, so people walking distance. And third choice was we were like bathrooms because of the bathroom over there, so it makes the job a little bit easier for the public works. And over here for Quantapog, where we wanted to put it was over by the fence gates. So again, people just walking in and out, they can just take their trash, put it there. Second choice is over by the boating house area. Because it's more tucked away and that doesn't necessarily get in the way of anybody. So some images. Trash bin. Had the sign. We did have some safety concerns, cuts because they're going to be dealing with blades, splinters because we're dealing with wood, dropping because heavy pieces of wood, other power tool related injuries, loud noise because power tools and heavy lifting, which could injure people.
Oh, so this is the safety for you building them. Right,
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I've
Right.
never thought picking up garbage was so dangerous before, but. Okay, go ahead.
So we didn't have any plans for like when we're gonna start the project because I've been quite busy, but we think maybe summer this year, but potentially earlier if we could do it, because yeah, ideally get it done before summer starts. And we again, if we don't know when we start, we don't know when we complete. But I anticipate needing 8 other scouts to help me out, like with building them. And then your goal would be like other power tools that the scouts are not allowed to use. So the materials and estimated costs. So we use pressure treated lumber because obviously it needs to be able to withstand weather. So we wanted to build 2 of them, one at Jacobs, one at Quantapug. So we need 20 8-foot 2x4s, which would cost $150. 25 16-foot 1x4s, which would be $500. And that would be the lumber. The other materials, we need 5 pounds of screws, which would be $40. 12 5-gallon buckets with handles for $48. 2 large trash cans, 2 for $100. 12 grabbers for $120. And slide bolt and hinges, couldn't get an exact price, but around $10. So supplies, power tools essentially be provided by my father, who is a carpenter, so we have access to all these.
That helps.
First aid kit, I could bring myself, but we were hoping our group would provide it because we do have a pretty nice one. Hearing protection, which will provide like earplugs, but some people prefer to wear like earmuffs, so. Eye protection, we'll also have safety glasses, but some people may prefer wear like goggles. And then we'll also be providing water and snacks, which is $50. Permits, I didn't think I got a permit, but we would need permission from you guys to be able to build on your beaches. Fundraising, I was hoping that you guys would pay for some or all of it. Other options we had were a GoFundMe or a car wash to raise the funds. How this project will be done, we're gonna have probably 2 work parties, maybe 3. To probably one at my house to construct the box themselves, and then another one to place them at their locations. And then we had a timeline. So in August of last year, I came up with the idea with my father. In November, I selected Mr. Sauer as my advisor. In November of last year, I presented to the committee. In 2024, inaccurate. 2025, I presented to you guys. And then these things just haven't happened yet. I haven't met with the district chair or fundraised. Any questions?
I have a question. Braden, is it? I'm on the.
Yes.
So I'm looking at the boxes and I kind of need to understand how they're working. You have
That's my
5
question
gallon, 5-gallon things, and how do they get out of there and actually get to the dump or wherever?
Well, the idea was that the person who's using it would grab the bucket and grabber when they're done, and they pick up all the trash when they're done, they put it into a normal trash bin. And that's what would get picked up and go to the dump.
And then Public Works picks that up.
Yes.
So that when they do
Okay,
their
so-
normal trash.
So I have 2 questions. One is, so if I'm there by myself, I'm obviously not gonna go take a bucket. So what do I just take my trash over and throw it in a bucket? Take a bucket by yourself.
It's another trash bin.
Well, I don't have a lot
No,
of
there are,
trash.
there are
Give me a
other,
break.
you would just put your, I thought it was for walking around, like if you see on the beach, it's not your personal trash. It's like cleaning up. It's like you
Helping to
community
clean up, okay. All right, so basically, it's if I wanna go clean up the beach.
Correct.
Okay, so my second question is the big trash that is going into. Will they be able to be picked? We pick up that trash there, don't we? Can we do that? I mean, is it built so that our machinery can get in there and lift up the
No,
trash?
you would take the bucket and.
No, I know
But
that.
when we
But I'm
have to
talking
the
about
big-
when it's in the big when it's in the big trash pail, we pick that up.
Right, we already do.
Yes, I know, but now it's in a box.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh,
So can you get it out of the box easy enough? So, exactly, because we are,
Oh, they're not gonna walk over to the pail that's already there and do it. So if I could, I was the director of Parks and Recreation in Darien at the time.
asking.
And one of our Darien Parks and Recreation Commissioners' daughter, Katari, is the one who did this project in Darien. So it is a compartment
Okay.
with empty buckets in the compartment. So it's just nicely stacked in there. So you want people to understand that when they want to go pick up some trash, they'd grab an empty bucket with a picker,
Yeah.
and they'd go around facility. Now, in that compartment, there's another trash can in there, right? So I think I'd love to reach out to Mom. I left maybe 6 months later, so I think I saw the summer part of it work. It worked very nicely. People are very excited about it. However, a good question is that we already have garbage cans on site, right? So it almost seems counterintuitive to put more trash in a different one when we already have trash cans out there. So I wonder how the one that they have inside the compartment is doing. Now, people, did they follow the rules, take the empty buckets and go directly there? Or did they empty it in the beach canister? That's something I don't know.
How is the Darien Beach different than Jacobs? I mean, Jacobs is pretty small.
Darien's are pretty small too. They're not huge beaches. I mean, one might be a little longer in length than it, but if you were to walk around our entire property of Jacobs Beach, it's pretty big, you know? So it's comparable. Definitely.
And
comparable.
they were able to get the big trash pails out of the containers. And
I'd like to talk to
We
them
need to talk to
about
them
that.
about how that
I don't know
works.
how it would be utilized. I think the compartment's great. Like it looks nice.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
know,
just
it's
like
great.
empty buckets thrown all over. They go back, they put them back in their place, and it's just a nice, you're drawn to it, and they got a lot of marketing on the project. So people were excited to go down there and take advantage of the buckets, walk around the site.
Do a video for Facebook.
Yeah, do what's in the Parks and Rec.
I do have one other question or
Okay.
comment. And when I'm at the beach often in the mornings, sometimes the trash cans that are there are overflowing. So I don't see how this is gonna help us with that problem. To me, it feels like we need more cans anyway down there. And then, because if we start having more people pick up more trash, it's not gonna make it any better at the time before the garbage men come.
So I think that the people who are picking up the trash and to take a bucket to walk up and down the beach are not
Yeah.
gonna pick up pizza boxes and, you know, it's a smaller amount of
Okay.
that they're gonna see.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes the morning ones are overflowing after a weekend. After the people.
In the
at-
summer, especially,
Right,
yeah.
the pavilions, they put all their garbage in there instead of
Yeah.
taking it, whatever, so,
No, but I thought we changed that last year on that application
to take it home,
to take it home.
but they don't.
But we did, but it's, yeah, it's whether
Some
people.
do, some
follow
don't.
that.
Some-
Yeah, trash.
Right. So, Lawrence?
Yeah, just off the top of my head in general, I mean, the beach down there is beautiful, except when I go down, I look at the garbage cans, it's like, ugh. There's cans over here, you know, one day they're here, then they're over there, they're just all over the place.
The wheel everywhere, yeah.
And I mean, as far as individual buckets, personally, I don't think it's gonna, like, well, like I said, I think what we need is not one, but two of these. I mean, can we to forego Lake Quantapug and just concentrate on Jacobs? Put two of these wooden boxes at Jacobs, forget about the little buckets, and take our regular sized garbage cans, recycle bin, stick them inside there. Okay, and then I don't put a lock on them, whatever. And then.
Well, we could, but this is his project, so,
That's what I'm saying is instead of individual things, change the project, obviously consulting with Pam and Tony. And just put,
Where would you put the stuff after you picked it up at the ground?
so anyway, so you take the recycled garbage can, the garbage, stick them in there, it's not unsightly, it looks nice. And stick them in there and forget about, I mean, the picker uppers, I mean, we're gonna be replacing those things once a week. I think that problem down there is it's unsightly and the garbage cans are everywhere. It's ugly, so you stick them in a wooden, you know, I'm sure you can, you know, you can adjust, just, like I said, a number of people, so just two garbage cans. One closer to the pavilion and another one closer to the, like halfway between the bathrooms and the bandstand there. Individual buckets and. I don't, I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say I kind of agree with Lawrence on that. I think the garbage cans so many times are unsightly. There are so many times I go down there because I go there sometimes a lot in the morning. And when I see that, it's kind of like, ugh.
So let's
not-
keep in mind that,
Not that we should I'm
this
not saying we should
project
disengage
is-
the project, right? I'm
Right,
not
so
trying to
this
stop
is
that, yeah,
not to solve our garbage problem.
correct,
This is his Eagle Scout project to anticipate some community involvement
Yep.
in maybe walking the beach and picking up trash and everything. I think there are two separate matters to be discussed, but go ahead.
okay.
You know, I personally, I think I'd like to make a motion that we table this for a month until we get some information from how this has worked at Darien. And
Okay,
we can look at it better, maybe go down there on our own, and I don't think I feel comfortable making a motion tonight.
We asked the Wendy's Eagle Scouts to do by, that's a very timely, it's a very timely process. So
Well, it says,
you do, okay.
Okay, so we got, don't say.
there's a motion,
So there's a motion on the table that on the floor that we table this until, will you be able to take some time this month with Pam and maybe Tony? And discuss this down at the beach or whatever? And come back, and see us next month.
and you've heard our concerns, so maybe you could address a
Okay,
few
so-
of them as well.
We have a motion from Rose. I need a second to table this till next month.
I know, but we still talk.
No, and then we'll discuss it again, yes. Okay, so we need a second. I'll second. All right, Mary seconded. I don't know if she can hear you. Okay, more discussion. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think this is starting a good discussion about the garbage
Yeah.
problem. And I don't think it needs, we can have the cans, because I do see that as something that some people get into, or kids like with their
Kids.
parents. I think it would be a fun, like a nice
Yes.
addition to do that. So maybe it's just open up these questions of how more we, work with what we have. There are cans down there and, get creative with the box. It doesn't, if we put the cans in boxes though, it still doesn't help the problem of how the guys get them out, or I guess it depends how it's built. But I think
Yeah.
I
Yeah, they just gotta open the door and pull them out.
That's what they shared.
and that was the question that came up at the beginning. So I like the idea of the cans and something to do. We
I
have
like the idea.
some kids there.
I think it's, sorry,
No, good.
I think it's really good for, like, when my kids were little, I was always very big on, and I still to this day am like that, I will not walk over a piece of trash. I don't care where I am, I will pick it up and put it in a garbage can. I just raised my children that way, but then half the time you're like, oh God, don't touch that. You wanted a grabber, or you wanted a rubber glove, so I think this is a really good initiative to parents that are teaching their children this. It's just making it just better to see that the community is willing to also support keeping our beaches clean as a community, not just as someone's job. So I think it's a great.
Lawrence?
Yeah, what I like to, this isn't brain surgery. I mean, I don't think we should table it. I don't wanna hold you back. My suggestion would be to, like, go with the project, work with Pam, and to see what's best down there. You guys work together, see what's, and approve the $1,000. I mean, this is something that's needed down there, so I don't think you should have to fundraise and do all the other stuff. I think we should just approve. I mean, do you have a problem with readjusting your plans?
I mean, the part of the project was having the grabber because, I know when I was a kid, and a bunch of other kids, when I first saw one of those grabber things, I wanted my mother to go to Target right away and grab it.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly,
it makes it fun
exactly.
and more interactive. So that's kind of why I liked it. But I'm very open to adjusting the project in a different way if it needs to be.
So my suggestion would be working with Pam and see what you can come up with.
And come back.
I think we still need we need to table it for 1 month because the commission needs to approve what's been finalized. So as much as we hate to delay you, although this is character building, okay? Don't hate it. I hate it too. But I think that the motion on the floor is that we table it just for a month. We're not saying no. And have you make the time to work with Pam and Tony. Do you know Tony Anicelli? Excellent. Okay, he's fabulous. You will know him. He's a mover and shaker. He's just fabulous. And they will work together with you and then come back and go, okay, that's the answer. Okay, are you dad?
Yeah.
You should be very proud, Dad. He's doing a great job.
I don't see what he was saying about having a box for the bigger trash cans. And also some buckets on the other side. I mean, I think it's just a matter of scale. I noticed the trash cans down there were the flip top ones. So if we could build the box so that you flip the thing open, slid it in,
Right.
and then had a hole at the top and then they just open up the front.
So maybe you could go with
Yes.
him as the carpenter, unless you want to do it on your own. But I think, okay. I mean, don't worry, the Park and Rec people are phenomenal.
I mean, don't
okay?
misunderstand me. I think it's a great idea and I think it looks great. It looks better than what's down there. I just feel like there's a lot of ifs here and that we should talk, you should talk with Pam and just sort of get a handle on how it worked in Darien and then go from there.
I think we're gonna go forward from the sound of it, it's just. we're not-
Just time,
Yeah,
time is all, so.
We need to have a little more detail before we can.
I mean, you may not
Say,
need
okay.
the extra can, if, if we can maybe work something out with the cans that are there,
Yeah,
or adding more,
Right,
and
okay.
then,
I had the same thought.
yeah.
Okay.
They're
So
there
we'll
already,
figure
so-
that out and we'll look forward to
Next
putting him on the agenda next month.
The other thing I just wanna, I don't, just talk about was the fact that in my experience, typically the commission or the Parks and Rec budget perhaps might give something, but typically I'm just not, my experience that we don't pay for it all.
No, we
No,
generally
I think
don't.
it's part of the Eagle
It's
Scout
part of it,
project
yes.
that they look to do some sort of fundraising.
Right, yeah.
So the commission would have to decide how much you're willing to.
Whole experience of the Eagle Scout project.
And then,
Right, so
we can come back, he can come back with that
you
next.
can come back and
All
figure
of
out
that
how
next
much you
month.
think you could raise and then and hit us up for the rest and see what we say. Got it? Okay. Are you disappointed?
No.
Okay.
No, it's a
Okay.
great idea. I think it's a great
I
idea.
like the idea. I love it. I
looked.
I have a 7-year-old granddaughter who will be
Love to go
wandering
pick up
with a
trash.
bucket.
Yes.
You, I mean, so,
That was my thought when you pointed out like closer to where the splash pad and the playground is, and
All
it's a good
this.
activity for.
right.
And how does everyone feel about Lawrence's suggestion to have 2 cans at Jacobs and not Quantipoc? Originally, I'm like, oh, great suggestion, because I think he's right, there's just, however, there still is garbage at Lake Quantipoc too, it's just smaller. So I don't know if maybe the big parking lot area is worth considering.
Well, considering that people,
I mean, because
I was gonna agree, just I don't know, I can build, then you build like 10.
Ooh, look, Dad,
Nice job.
it would be good at Quantico, mostly because it's a bigger picnicking area.
Like it
So
would
it
actually
would be
be
nice.
nice.
Maybe not on the other side, but maybe on the other side, in the parking lot area, because people do
Weekends there's a lot.
picnic there. There's a lot of people there on a weekend.
My hesitation with putting it on the picnic side would be, although this is for you to decide with our Park and Rec, but is that will I take my picnic garbage and put it in the bin that's not really, doesn't matter?
I see. I don't think like what garbage goes in there
can't
really
control that.
matters. It just matters that people are picking up the garbage.
You're gonna pick them up.
Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah, again, I just really, it's a great idea. Okay, it's needed down there. And again, I just think we're making it too complicated. I mean, we don't have a problem now where, I don't think we do with people leaving trash on the beach. That's not a problem. To me, our problem down there is it's unsightly. And we
And
need,
the birds.
yeah, we need to correct the unsightly. We don't need to have buckets and grabbers and, because it's not a problem. People pick up their trash whether they have a grabber or not. I just think we should correct the unsightly slate of garbage cans down there and have a central location. This is where you bring your garbage. There's 1.1 degree, you can bring your garbage over there. Okay, thank you.
Joe, did you want to say something?
I was just gonna say that we do have quite a few Life Scouts in the queue, so we could use Jacobs Beach as a test ground. And if you like it or you wanna modify, then the next Eagle Scout who comes along, perhaps Quantipoc is their target, and that type of thing.
All right. So we have the motion to table it for the month, and you know what you've got to do. We've had the second, so all in favor of the
Aye.
motion?
Aye.
Aye.
No, okay, everybody's aye. Oh, okay. So the great masses out there. So thank you so much. You did an outstanding job. Your presentation was really clear.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
You
And,
can stop sharing right on that thing.
and we'll look forward to seeing you next month.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Dad. You should be proud. It's done great.
Yeah, I will say that after the 15 canisters are built.
Right, you say you can build.
It's been recorded.
Is that your coat?
Thank you.
No, that's mine.
Oh, it's yours, okay.
Next would be public forum. I see no one else in the audience and I believe there's no one else on the screen waiting to get in. So we can move on to correspondence received and forwarded. There's been quite a lot. Is there any discussion? Okay, go ahead, Rose, you
I have a
start.
couple of things. Well, first of all, I think it's a great idea that we're going back to looking into the sailing. I think that's really great. I like to see that. Also, I was thinking, the safe driving class that we offer, the AARP uses here, have we thought about talking to the instructor about, I noticed we're always looking for, I know we're looking for bus drivers, Madison's looking for, everybody's looking for bus drivers. Have we thought about it, having them talk to their class, to their students about?
Yeah. I think that's a great idea.
You know, I know our bus drivers are running around like crazy.
Great. So ARP.
Yes, I love the idea that FanFest is coming. And the other question I have, Pam, is who's requesting all of this information about communications between staff, students, administrators? What is that?
Danielle Scarpolino.
Yes, I know, but what does she want from the community? center? For what?
We don't know.
It's just Freedom of Information Act. That's all
Oh, I
you need
know it
to,
is, but why?
no, they don't, don't need a reason why. It's,
Yeah, I know that, I just.
So Pam has handled saying on the way that is supposed
Yep.
to be handled. The
It's-
response has been given to Danielle that it was received. Karen Curcia sends it out.
She sends out a standard response. Yeah, so I really have no idea other than getting a request. And then that's how requests are handled. We will compile a list of how many pages we think that the information could be. And if, say, it's 500 pages, then she will be contacted to let her know that it'll be 50 cents per page. You have to pay for that. So right now, we still just getting back from holiday break.
Right.
I know IT most likely will be involved of trying to help us go through that, because Ellen does quite a bit of conversation and correspondence with the schools and
Okay.
of course, so.
Because usually we don't have that much, that's why I was curious about why there.
Mhm.
If there's something specific about the community center.
It is
Well, I
wide
find
open.
it interesting that,
So-
I asked the question of my husband actually, because he deals a lot with this, and I said, well, so say if I was a teacher at the high school and wanted to book a party here for my 5-year-old. And all that correspondence would be shared. Because that's what
It's public
has been
information.
requested.
Only if you were using your school email encounters. If you're using your personal.
Yeah,
Yeah, it would have to be the school account.
Yeah, because if you're saying any student, I mean, we'd have to report,
Just about everything.
you know, but he's not doing that as a.
So,
as
so
part of the
legal will
school.
look at everything as well,
The legal
legal,
will check it out.
legal checks. And when I saw that as well, I did check with Pam that, because she was new, I said, I don't even know what the procedures are for freedom of, and she did, of course, so. Lauren, sorry.
yeah, Pam, maybe I missed it, but I assume like, do you get this request directly?
Yes,
Okay, and I assume you just send it over to the town hall, and let them handle it.
there's a response. So I typically in the past, I would have responded back to her saying that I've received, just letting her acknowledging her request. But here they have a standard response letter. So once I heard, first I reached out to the attorney and copied Matt, Karen, but then they said, let Karen handle it because it's a standard response.
Karen,
Percy,
In the selectman's office.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, let's see what the proper,
So-
let them handle it.
Yep,
And if
then-
they need to get information, they go to you, you get the information, go back to town hall, and the town hall sends it out.
Right.
Yeah, seems like the right way to do it.
So we still haven't dove into that. We will very shortly.
And did you have anything else, Rose?
You know, the banners that were crossed, I mean, they're asking, you know, can they be hung in season at Adams? What have we done in the past? Do we
We've
know?
always said no.
We've always said no.
You guys know better than I, but
I don't remember, that's why I'm asking.
yeah, from what I understand on our standing fields committee walkthrough.
Mhm.
Made mention at Long Hill Farm or Long Hill Park
Mhm.
that I am so surprised all these signs are up here because we don't allow them. So
And I'm in what park, where's the dog park?
that's at that plane,
Not
but
Plains
but this-
also had big
yeah.
banners across
those
the
are all
top.
down now.
Yes, they came down very quickly.
So they're coming down everywhere, okay. Sports, you know, gosh, for each other, but aren't there banners at Adams? Like at the. Well, there's the baseball fields. It says, can banners be hung in season like at Adams?
Like in Adams, literally, but I don't know what, I just always know there have been some there.
School versus park, so I
But
don't
it's-
know. That's something
But
we
it's
have to-
interesting, well, you're right, it's the school, but it is like the Little League kind of complex, so I think that's.
But is the banner an Adams school banner or is it the Little Monsters?
Right,
Okay,
for
so
Little
then,
League.
then that's not.
Right, so I just think there is something to look at about all these to
Right.
understand.
It
what's
could be
going
the
on.
divide between park rules versus.
Maybe the school doesn't really pay
Yeah, I
attention
don't
to
know.
it. Maybe the school doesn't really pay attention.
No, they
to-
don't.
Pay attention to it.
I mean, many years at
Yeah,
Adams.
right,
I
don't.
spent a lot of years at Adams. We don't worry about that.
Don't.
Yeah, no, I had also noticed it in the planes, I had never noticed them before, and they were hung very high, so that I drive by there 30 times a day. And I was surprised to see them, and I had called Pam and I said, oh, you know, I've been meaning to talk to you about this. About these banners, I'd never seen them before.
Yeah, but I just meant when we're looking at it, since they
Yes.
are hung up for like Little
Yeah,
League sponsors, we should know.
I wrote
why
down
it's
banners
different.
at school
Yeah.
facilities versus park facilities.
Yeah.
So basically, we're saying no to banners everywhere.
In the parks.
in the parks.
Yeah, right, but if that's the.
We don't, we can't make the decision for the schools.
No.
Fields,
But
we
it's
can
a
make.
little fields, not an
I guess what I was just
You could bring
wondering
it
is
to their
really
attention.
if there was a decision made, or it's just always been that way at the schools. And so then it's literally because there's no banners like in the
Yes.
soccer
Probably
fields.
have to pay attention to
And I
it.
can also ask the standing fields committee what the,
What, yeah.
what the experience is with them too.
Pass.
Thank you.
All right, Rose, did you get through your comments?
Well, I did. I mean, there's a lot.
Well done,
That
there
was,
was a lot of correspondence.
Yes.
Anyone, Susan, you're up there on the screen, do you have any discussion about any of them?
No, I think you all addressed what I was thinking about as well. There was a lot of correspondence, interesting, different, I thought, than most months, but
Jill, for fitness classes, what's that? That was strictly somebody inquiring to our facility whether or not they could hold classes here. I typically, we get a lot of those. She said she already had a schedule. Scheduled maybe somewhere else. And she was giving us an example of what she runs. So I then forwarded that to Ellen and Rob. See if that's something of interest to us.
mhm.
So moving along, we go to the approval of the meeting minutes from, we have two, December 2nd, and I think this, the quick one we had on the 17th. So could I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes of December 2nd?
So moved.
Rose moves, second. Any discussion, changes? All in favor that we approve? Aye.
Aye,
Thank you, all in favor. And then we have the December 17th meeting. Motion to approve the meeting minutes of December 17th, the special meeting minutes. Tara makes a motion. We have a second from someone.
Second.
Lauren seconds it. All in favor? Oh, discussion.
Wait, was that
That's fine.
keep me on here? That I was in attendance.
Okay, so Kathy could change that.
Okay.
Kathy, did you
I'm
hear
like,
that?
no, I forgot about it, and then I'm like, how am I on there if I?
Kathy, did you hear that?
No.
Okay, Diane,
I was not at the, I was not in attendance at the December 17th. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, so you can abstain from the,
April, December.
Like, who renew my family life going on? It's just,
okay, so,
I'm abstaining from that because
so any other discussion changes? So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and one
Aye.
abstain. It's, what's the word? Abstention. Excellent. Let me just check my list here.
Thanks, Kathy, for saying I was there. Appreciate it.
I didn't take those minutes.
I know, I figured.
Oh, Jen. That's okay. It's all right. So, item 5, follow up on the donation for Bittner Park Field conversion.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming out, making sure that the special meeting could be attended right away in order to get this approval. And then, of course, the Standing Fields Committee brought it to my attention that there's inland wetlands surrounding this area. So however, that the commission was unanimously approved it, which is terrific. There's still other steps that need to take place. Applications need to be filed. We let the holidays get by us and now I'll have to move
Get busy with
on.
the lands wetland.
Now that the winter's here anyway.
Right, so I think we did kind of know that at the meeting, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So we'll move that down under unfinished business for next month. Okay, review the community center room rental policy.
So I don't think we have a copy in here,
Oh, I didn't
do we?
read it.
Oh, I know. The reason I brought that up is because you may all know and seen on Facebook that this particular ad is coming up again about an education on retirement. We did go back and forth with the vendor. We made sure they understood that the commission doesn't want any solicitation. He's fully aware that's not his intention. So I will be attending those sessions. We laid it right out as to, you know, our feelings on that and my feelings on having attended one of the other classes. So you shall see. They paid us for it. They say they understand it. No solicitation, no handing out things, no making people feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
And again, just to reiterate, we have had certain people here in our community center that have done educational sessions for whether it be a half hour or an hour. I've attended them. I've taken notes. If I felt that I wanted to seek out that person, I could, but in no way was that person there soliciting.
I recall at the meeting too, was it November or whenever this came up, we were gonna have the attorney review the.
Yes, I have not done that.
That's still.
Yes, yeah, but we moved ahead regardless of that. This is what the commission does not want. So regardless of what's in the writing of the application,
Right.
we're telling the people right up front, this is not acceptable.
So we have to have people on site to screen the events,
Well, I think,
because we've had people complain at the front desk.
I think that right now, like I went to the last one.
Right.
I wasn't happy with what I saw. You know, so we were able to communicate that.
Yeah.
To the particular vendor. We have not heard back from the others, the one I felt uncomfortable with. And now, once we can just get it in writing on the application.
Yeah.
I think we should feel better about it, but doesn't mean someone's not gonna come in there and, you know, so I'm very anxious to see how this will play out with this particular vendor, because information is good. You know, I can't say I'm not interested in hearing a little bit more about retirement tips, right? So I just don't want to feel pressured. And I don't think our community center should have to portray that we trust these people for doing that either, so. So we're on to it. I appreciate everyone's, you know,
I
feedback.
sent her a screenshot.
It's all over my.
Oh my gosh.
But they hired this marketing firm. They do a darn good job, you know, so, but it's kind of in your face, our community
Take
center.
this whole Facebook thing with a grain of salt to some degree, because I'm sorry.
Well,
One thing gets out and the assumptions that are being made, it's just people need to calm down.
I don't think with this, I haven't seen any big deal other than people
Yeah.
liking.
Yeah,
So I haven't
okay,
heard any
good.
comments.
I didn't see any
In general.
comments. I just was surprised.
It probably was surprising to
Yeah.
us,
Yeah.
because we've had this discussion
Right.
about what's going on.
Right.
Surprising to me too, and I thought, oh God, I'm just gonna think I haven't done a damn thing about it.
No, we don't
Yeah.
like that.
We're on top of it.
You just sit in your office all day.
No, I was never in her office.
Okay, so, that moves us on to review and approval of the expenditures. I think we were given copies.
I move that we approve the expenditure.
All right,
Get it on.
Rose moves that we approve the expenditures. Who seconds it? We're gonna discuss. Lawrence seconds it. Okay, discussion? Go ahead, Lawrence.
No, just on another note, I mean, this isn't, I guess for us, but the porta potties, it's another thing, unsightly.
Mhm.
I mean, the town should bite the bullet and put bathrooms like we have down at Jacobs Beach.
Where?
Wherever we have porta potties. Let's bite
There
the
are a
bullet,
lot
let's
of
bite
them.
the, I know, but I mean, in the long run, wouldn't it be cheaper in the long run, like to build a facility like we have down at Jacobs Beach, put them in the different locations?
Maybe I can tell you what I understood with Rick trying to get permanent bathrooms at Bittner was a real struggle. And when I first arrived here, feedback I received from a few of the Board of Selectmen members was if you can propose it in a different way, maybe you'll get some traction, but not the way it was proposed. It was just too much money for a permanent facility when there already is a bathroom at Bittner Park. Yes, okay, it's a walking distance to it. Yeah, there was a proposal. And it was just so much money that they
Really?
they did approve, they didn't support it.
But when you look at when you try to look at what's been spent on
That's
porta
what I'm
potties,
saying,
that's where my
$80
head
here,
goes.
$100
It
here.
was about $20,000 in the budget,
Yeah, but if you.
but it's $90,000 to build.
Run water over to Chittenden Park, just to put in a bathroom there. I mean, we have a lot of the, but how would you have to
But
put
one
in
of the-
water, you have to put in septic?
Good point.
I mean, how about the dog park? I'm sure there's.
One of the things I've seen at a recent convention is portable, I wanna say portable potties, but it's a station that doesn't need
They have those, they have them in, Chaffinch, Sheffield Hollow.
Okay, so they use them because they have portable water that's used with them. So there are ways around going.
Right.
So I have met with a company and that's the $90,000 at Bittner that it would be if we didn't have to dig a well and do all the kind of stuff. So
Toilets.
You wouldn't have to,
Like they do in other parts of the
we
world.
have to bring water in and remove it and then refill it with, the dirty water and new water.
It's water conservative and it's environmentally friendly and you can do really nice ways of doing it.
Yeah, there are, so I have gotten one number, we certainly always.
A fancy outhouse.
Pretty potty, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Say, when I joined this commission, I didn't know I'd spend so much time talking about
Anybody
trash
is
and
pretty.
bottles.
I know, right?
Right.
Well, I first started with disc golf,
Like,
which I didn't even know what that was.
I mean, I agree, they're really not attractive, I agree with you, but at all these parks, we can't really be putting in water.
no, you're
so-
absolutely right, but don't they have, like I said, didn't Rick, the one up there, that you didn't need water or something, or?
But that was
Then it
so
was really
expensive,
expensive.
and then he found out that they actually weren't working,
Yeah.
didn't work as well.
Yeah.
They were at Manast, I think, or something, and they weren't working.
But it's just like, on another note, it's like, as we've really advanced as a society, but as far as finding a place to go to the bathroom in the public, like, we're just, I mean, there's no place to go to the bathroom.
And then the merchants on the green are.
It comes in town
Okay,
hall.
so shall we, is this centered around our motion for this?
I wanted
We
to-
still have more discussion. Go
I
ahead.
see October and November expenses, we have to do them separately. October was in the email. Right.
October
Okay, wrong.
was
Wrong.
in here, we
You can do that, yeah.
approved that last.
I just didn't know for some reason we didn't have it in November, I can't remember, but it, so this is.
One of those days.
And I thought I put a new one there, but.
No, you did, but I just didn't know if then.
Yes, so that's.
It was a replacement, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is the one.
Jim
where-
is just Harry getting.
So any other discussion about the numbers? Thank you. So, the motion on the floor is to approve the total November invoices of $127,496.12. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Excellent. Thank you. Okay, this is 4-day, 35-hour work week proposal. Oh, follow that.
So, Briefly, I have met with Matt, I met with Mitch, I've had some discussions with staff, there, it's still there, I think it may be very difficult, I'm feeling a little bit of major concerns, not surprised. My last communication was that I thought it was really important to be able to present the proposal to the Board of Selectmen and the Board of Finance. There's, in my opinion, there is, this could be a boost in morale. It's helping with retention, it's helping with recruitment. It has numerous, I feel, benefits, but there's a lot of things underneath it. When you look at the union and fairness and lots of other employees that already work 35 and then we're at 40 because we were at 35. So there's a lot of different elements that need to be discussed. I did speak with Bristol Parks and Rec director today because they recently went to a 4-day work week. They are 37.5 hours. No one else in the town has attempted this. The mayor said, go ahead, have at it, if you can make it work. So they're making it work. I asked him how it was going. He said the morale shot up. They're paid very well. We have some very low paid employees that I feel would benefit them. He just said, I'm gonna tell you one thing, it's a game changer. It's a game changer for everybody. Some people they got an extra day with their families. Some people use that as an extra day. They got to make some additional money. So, I'm not looking for this hard fight. I'm looking for an opportunity to think outside the box. Perhaps do something a little bit different than that hasn't been done before. And that's it. So.
And your next step with this is?
So next step is I'm still, Mitch invited me to have a sit down with Mary Jane, Matt, himself, myself, and talk it through. This is really a 3-pronged thing. I mean, there's a lot going on there with that
Who's Mary
request.
Jane?
Is the finance director.
Finance director.
I mean, there really is a lot going on. I understand it. I'm looking for whatever type of,
But it is also,
It is something that you started the conversation.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
not
I mean, and we knew.
No, and you know what, I'm a firm believer that when you bring something that's uncomfortable, it means movement happens, and when you're comfortable.
I agree. I think it's thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
so we'll see.
I think, yes.
Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff is going on in the corporate world. All right, and they're not doing it because they're nice people. They're doing it because it increases productivity.
It does.
And they're keeping employees. People are
Yeah.
And it's a known fact that we can't retain, especially the program coordinators, we can't retain them. And it's just that their salary is too low and.
They all leave because
There's
they
been
want
about
somebody with a
18
better salary.
18 of them. And, right, so.
Here, it's-
Again, and there's no way, I want to make sure that everyone understands, I think it's been very commendable what the town has been doing over the last few years of really looking at
Absolutely.
bringing people up, and it's great. It's just that there still is, so I just think there's ways of bringing up morale that are outside of what the traditional thing is,
And they don't
so.
cost money.
Totally.
They don't cost money.
Yeah, I mean,
It's right.
there's
It's a
some
no-brainer.
concern.
You need contracts up this year.
Right, so the negotiations are starting Friday.
And is everybody in this, I haven't looked at the contract lately. It's a 40-hour week for everybody.
No, there's a lot of 35s. So that's really part of the.
So that needs to be. No, no.
We all were
Ours,
35.
It's about the rest of town. That's right. All the workers are in the same except for the.
All
public
town
works,
hall is
Teamsters.
35, library's 40, we're now 40, so it really is, there's so many differences, but I'm really looking out for my department almost as a,
So maybe we can get it in the contract. That's what I'm saying.
from what I understand, it is not a union driver. It's the Board of Selectmen, HR, Board of Finance, if they all agree and they think it's worth it, then it goes to the union to negotiate it and to make sure they figure out how it works. But they can't say no to it. The union doesn't say no to it necessarily. They're gonna try to figure out how it works. And if everyone says, yes, I believe that's correct. But so it's still alive. It's not dead. So
But it does make some people here feel a little more valued, I think.
Well, I think as time goes on, things change and like, when you really think about the 9 to 5 work week, 5 days a week was really. Men were just working back in when you really look at the history of it, it's really quite remarkable
yeah.
of how times have changed.
And Bristol, they shut the doors, so they close
Yeah.
on Fridays. We're not
No, we wouldn't do
proposing
that,
that.
right.
We're not proposing, but they work Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, 8 to 5:30, and then they work
Monday through
Wednesday from 8 to 7 p.m.
3 to 4.
So it's a long day. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Pam, how many, off the top of your head, how many Park and Rec employees are there?
I wanna say if I just 20.
Well, or
20.
and of those 20, how many live in Guilford?
Oh, that's a
You
good
know, I
I
question.
don't think there's many.
There aren't that
I
many.
think most of them are from out of town.
Right.
I think like Henry Ford built Model Ts, right? And he paid his employees enough where they could buy the thing they were building, right? So we have employees here that can't afford to live in this town.
You have teachers here who can't
Don't
afford
get
to
me on
live in
that
this
subject.
town. Don't even start.
Mhm.
Don't even get me started on that subject.
Okay, so
Problem too.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem.
let's move this along. Directors report, anything you wanna highlight on there?
It's a report, boy, the holidays were quick, and I guess the one thing I'd like to highlight is Ellen and I are meeting with the Guilford Yacht Club tomorrow.
Okay.
So I understand, we met with Allison Frank, who's the Commodore. She's fairly new, like 3 years. We did explain to her, apparently 15 years ago, the town did jump on and was running the program with them. There were some issues, as Ellen said to me, that it was very successful, except for some of the things that happened between the yacht members and the department. So that was 15 years ago.
It wasn't even that, I don't think it was that long
10
ago
years
because
ago.
my kids,
Yeah.
my boys did it when they were.
It's 10 years ago, but she said 2015 or so, but
That is.
yeah, so I feel it's win-win. I'm
I think
really
it's
excited about it. I'm trying
Yeah.
to get Ellen to be excited about it because she lived through a bad experience. So I think it's win-win. So we're meeting there tomorrow at the yacht club.
Good.
And I will report back in February.
I would just, I would say I know Ellen says no report, but the program we did at the night of the tree lighting for the families here, those families were so appreciative and had such a good time. They had pictures with Santa, they had
Yeah.
pizza. I mean, we had activities. It was great.
That's great
And
feedback. Thank
A
you.
lot of the families,
Because I was
so happy.
freezing at the tree lighting. I
I was in here, I was warm,
wore socks.
I know where.
Oh,
So yeah, I would switch to the heartbeat.
But they did a great job here. I just want to.
Okay, so moving on to the report of commission staff, blah, 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 standing fields. I know we-
Nothing new,
All right, Greens Committee,
nothing.
land acquisition. Land
So,
acquisition.
I am here, land acquisition. We have been officially told that we do not need to attend the land acquisition committee meetings. I'm still on the committee, but I'll be advised if there's anything to discuss that would possibly affect Park and Rec.
So Susan requested this because I was on it too. There's nothing for us to be on there for.
Gotcha.
Unless there is something for,
Yeah.
and the
okay.
meetings are long and very informative if that's what you need to know.
Yep.
But most of the time, there's
Makes
no,
sense, okay.
and it's, right, Susan?
There's very little property that they discuss that, or none that I've been, in the time I've been there, that had anything to do with Park and Rec having, something they would be able to use. Usually it was something more hiking or whatever, but not going to be run by us, you know what I mean? So I just said, I think it's more of an as needed basis. If you think there's a property that, Park and Rec would jump on or whatever to add to our fields or add to our playgrounds, whatever, let us know.
Or if it would affect
Matt was in agreement with me.
Lawrence?
Shouldn't that be, like, if it comes to a point where they're gonna discuss for some part, rec, shouldn't, like Pam? Shouldn't that be Pam attending that meeting and
Yeah,
then
that makes sense.
telling the commission? Right? I mean, I don't think one of
Not
us. should be doing
necessarily, but
this.
it's always been a commission member who
Yeah.
represents the commission.
Set up that way in the town chart.
What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I think Pam should be representing the commission.
But I
I
think,
mean,
I'm sorry,
and then bring it to the commission, to whatever, whatever decisions need to be made or discussed. I
I'm
think
fine
that'd
with
be,
that too.
yeah, but I think we need to look at the town charter. It just says the commission.
Right,
member.
exactly.
It's the town charter.
then I
Part
stand
one.
corrected, corrected.
So Sue, when
Yeah.
you hear, you tell me,
Yeah,
land ac-
yeah, I mean, there's no reason why you can't put, but you have to follow the.
yeah, no, it's a good point.
What,
Charter.
Kathy?
the Land Acquisition Commission is set up to have representatives from all sorts of different boards and commissions, not,
Mhm,
Right,
not staff members, which Pam is.
mhm.
that's
Right.
right.
Okay.
I mean, that's the
Thank
way
you.
it's written in the charter.
Mm.
Nothing against Pam.
It's not switching pretty
How many people really read the town charter?
Kathy knows it.
So, item 11, unfinished business. We have new playground update.
Right, so we are moving along, believe it or not, even with the snow on the ground. Wednesday, we've been asked to put stakes in the ground at Jacobs because Public Works really feels it's necessary to get a good visual as to where they need to fill. So we are going to have Gesick and Company, who did the original survey. They're coming out to put stakes in the ground. We'll be helping them if the ground is frozen. Public Works still has to take out the playground poles. There's about 65 of them. They were waiting to get through the season. Unfortunately, it's getting a little colder. So I did reach out to Dave today and ask the question whether or not his machines will still be able to get those poles out of the ground despite the weather getting colder. I haven't heard back from him. I'm assuming they probably can. Jay Fredland is on call. When this happens, he'll have a container brought down so that all the equipment could be loaded for Guatemala. The playground equipment's been ordered and it's already come in. So all of that is ready. Matter of fact, if you might see, there's a huge, two big pieces of rock climbing walls that are down there. That's part of our playground equipment. They just, they needed a place to put. They're pretty cool. I didn't expect them to be that big. So our playground company has made it apparent that if we move along in the winter because weather allows us to do so, they're ready to build when they can. Brick fundraisers moving along, as I told you all in the report, that we're up to close to $15,000, which is exciting. I feel like through the holiday, I never even got to do mine. So, now that the holiday's over, all those people that now can take a breath and go, oh, okay, now maybe I do want a brick. So maybe we can get to 300 as a goal for $30,000. That would be nice. So we'll see. Yeah. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah, I've been up to Bittner a couple times. That's a great little playground. I mean, it's very challenging, but
I've been there.
Did you like
Yeah.
the slide? Go down?
Did you try it?
no,
If I could fit on it, you can fit on
I've
it.
been here a couple times and I look over and I see adults
Yeah.
where they're not supposed to be. They're like, I'm like, you
So
have to be
appealing.
like 2 inches from your kid, let your kid be.
Oh, I thought you meant they were playing.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're afraid, they're
The
nervous.
adults are on the playground playing, and that's a kid's play. What are you doing there? You're an adult.
No, but it's.
It is fun.
Playground, maybe they're excited.
It's fun.
It's meant for kids.
I went on that spinner. I was in the middle of like 30 kids
Oh,
and they were spinning me.
God,
That spinner was
I gotta
amazing.
close my
Come on,
ears.
Lawrence, we're gonna catch you on that slide. Unbeknownst to you.
Well, you will.
They love it.
It's
So many
fantastic. And it was so warm recently
Yeah.
that even Camilla was there.
It is really great. I'm
I've
really.
heard so many good things, like
Yeah.
people that didn't even realize it was even redone. Like just like this wow factor,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so, yeah, so hopefully Jacobs is, stays within the time period. The ultimate deadline is May 15 before we open. So that's a deadline, but everything's ordered, so we're not gonna be waiting for anything
Good.
other than
Weather.
manpower and weather, yeah.
You'll get them,
It's all
you'll
good.
get them.
And then one addition to unfinished business is just a reminder of our new little subcommittee for plaques at the community center. That's Rose and Tara. I think it was in the minutes that it
Gonna be like, you're not
so that it was, I think it was, no, I think it's a last minutes, it said table to today, but I believe that we've tabled it to give you more. certainly more time. So, just so that will,
I just gave myself away.
so that will, even if you have nothing to say, we'll just put that under unfinished business, just to keep reminding us, but there's no.
Table to 2030.
We could do, I think afterwards, we said this is gonna happen.
You think this is gonna get any easier?
Yeah.
Let me tell you. I was never like forgetful and it's like.
So new business, do we have any new business, anyone?
I just wanna say.
I'd like to ask,
Well,
interrupt, whoops, I'd like to interrupt. Did anybody see the news today in the Guilford Patch about what
Yes.
Guilford is planning to purchase?
Yes.
Moorings.
The moorings property.
I don't think it should be brought up
That's
now.
not part of it, so we'll discuss that later.
Yeah, no.
Interesting, I just thought.
my only side thing about pickleball is that all the conversation, all the people who are here, I finally played over.
Did you?
It's like life-size ping pong and you get to stand on the ice.
So that's,
This is really fun.
I'm going to do,
So
that's
I
my,
was for Christmas.
that's my new year, that's my new year.
And
thing.
it was 37 degrees and they were playing at Adams.
Definitely.
It's like.
Okay, so any other new business, any new business we want to discuss? We have a
Motion
motion
to
to
adjourn.
adjourn, it's from Rose, second, meeting adjourned, 7:30 PM, 34 PM. Thank you, everybody, and stop.
Stop the recording at least.
Oh, so.